Well, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the lightweight bout between Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. And how I feel about this one right here is I'm going low confidence Charles Oliveira, shocker. Going with the dog here, Charles Oliveira probably will remain a dog, maybe even be a bigger dog by fighting. Who knows? Maybe they shift it. There's a lot of people that's in mental bromances with Charles Oliveira, so it might shift. But I'm going to Charles Oliveira. I feel this is definitely a good spot for I said Dariush. Beneil, is he blood or something? Beneil Dariush to pull through here. I mean, there's a good signs for him and whatnot. I do feel like he's the better overall grappler. I feel like defensively, scrambles, all of that. I feel like he's the better grappler, or at least the more grounded grappler, I would probably say. Probably in the pure BJJ match, he would probably come out on top. But this is an MMA fight, not a BJJ match. And yeah, styles for make fighting, Dariush without a doubt would give Islam Makhachev a much better fight without a doubt. But it's not about what I feel would be this or what I would want. I feel like I would want a lot of fights to have won differently. But the fighter that I didn't, I'm not saying I don't want Charles Oliveira to win. I'm not saying I want Dariush to win. But there's definitely other cases of fights where I want this guy to win because he would have gave this champ a better fight. But styles make fights. I feel like Dariush should have just gotten a title shot. I feel like he shouldn't have had to fight Charles Oliveira. Like, who's in line to fight for the title? Like, no one really. So it should have been like, let's give Dariush a shot. He on like an 8-fight winning streak. Give him a shot. Like, what's the point of let Charles Oliveira fight Michael Chandler again? Let him fight Conor McGregor. Let him fight Dustin Poirier again. Let him fight who knows? Let him fight Armin Siakarin or something. And let Dariush get a title shot. But yeah, so back to styles make fight. I feel like Charles Oliveira should be the stuff to takedowns of Dariush. I feel like Dariush on the feet. I feel like the best thing about Dariush, he does get some good slappy punches a little bit. It might not look the most polished or clean, but he's effective with those shots. But I think the sneakily best thing about him is his kicks. Very heavy kicks to the legs, very heavy kicks to the body, very good technique, very sneaky with him as well. But yeah, as far as takedown, I feel like Charles Oliveira is a stronger, more technical wrestler between the two, in my opinion. And should be able to stuff the takedowns, control where this fight goes for the most part. And also, I think Charles Oliveira can take advantage of some of the tendencies of Dariush to kind of throw big looping punches at times and then fall into clinch. Also, Dariush can get very low-level sloppy a lot in his fights. And people say, oh, the Michael Chiesa fight, how did Michael Chiesa take his back? It wasn't the case that Michael Chiesa just went out there, wrestled him, and took his back and choked him out. Dariush came out steaming, was beating the mess out of it, beating the brakes off Michael Chiesa, like kicks to the body, punching him, having him crumpled over, running against the cage, getting beat up. Then, like that, I think it was the second round. I think Chiesa was able to catch him. Dariush started getting a little bit sloppy, catch him, and then from that point, he took his back when he was rocked, like halfway asleep, and then choked him out. It was a case where he just took him down. So Dariush has a tendency to get caught. I think he got knocked out by Ramsey Ninden, but that's like early in his career. He has a tendency of getting caught and slept. You need the Alex Hernandez fight. So that's his issue. Like, he can't get a little bit sloppy. And then even who else he fought? It was a fight he won. I'm forgetting to do it right now, but like that. Jakar Close, very close fight. I mean, yeah, than it should be. I feel like it should have been much easier for him. I'm not saying that Jakar Close is not a good fighter, but I'm saying Beneil Dariush just has shown to be an elite fighter. And like, Jakar Close is not elite. He's a good fighter, but he's not elite. So it shouldn't have been the fight it was. But again, Dariush can end up being sloppy fights. Even in the last Diego Ferreira fight, it was points in the fight where he just looked sloppy. They just both look like low levels schoolyard children just slapping on slappy, weak punches with terrible technique. Like, he has a tendency to get very sloppy, get very square. And that's why I'm kind of leaning to. I feel like it's going to be a very good first round. Maybe Dariush actually starts to land some good kicks, maybe even trip Charles Oliveira, or maybe reverses Charles Oliveira on the ground and survives the submission and starts to ride the top position a little bit. And, as the fight starts to look one way, and then the second round still looks pretty competitive, but, Dariush seems to be landing a little bit more, frustrating Charles Oliveira a little bit. But I could find Oliveira just finds, it's still a competitive fight, but like second round starts to get a little, fatigue starts setting in a little bit. Technique starts to dip for both a little bit. The fight gets down, the war of attrition starts to come in. Then I start seeing Dariush make those same sloppy mistakes, probably start falling into the clinch, reaching, probably runs into an elbow or runs into a punch, then starts getting wobbled. And I think from that point, I think Charles Oliveira starts to pressure him, probably throws some teeps to his body, starts putting him to plumb elbows, knees, and starts to wear on him. And then probably just finish up with some little short elbows and some ground and pound and gets him out second round, like late second round. But I think it'll be a competitive fight for as long as it lasts. But I think ultimately Dariush's technique will start to fail him as it does in his fights, at least on the feet for the most part. His grappling is always solid, but I feel like unless he's rocked. But his striking definitely at times gets very sloppy. And even his punching and leaning over against Barboza, but Barboza's got that quick twitch, so you can see like, oh, he's reaching and leaning there. Sometimes he does that. Those punches, he reaches, leans, jumping, flying, he times it. But I feel like when he starts to reach and lean and starts to get a little labor with it, a little predictable, I feel like that's when Charles Oliveira start to take advantage, elbows, start to move him in the clinch, knee him, and start to wear on him and take advantage of him when he gets sloppy, and again finish him second round TKO. So in this one, I have Charles Oliveira via second round TKO.